Well, welcome back to the Couch Critics. It's just one Couch Critic tonight. It's Brad. Welcome back to the channel. It's been some time since we've uploaded a video. In fact, I think it was before the start of the A-League season. We're now 6 weeks into the A-League. Melbourne City lead the way undefeated after 6 games. But we're not talking about the A-League. And in fact, we're not actually focusing in on the Socceroos in particular. We're focusing about the entire World Cup. It's a bit different from our normal videos. I don't think we've ever gone outside the realm of the A-League or the Socceroos. But as what you can probably see on the screen in front of you, we're going to be going through at least my World Cup predictions, my totally 100% biased World Cup predictions. And got this fabulous little predictor template here from the Telegraph newspaper over in the United Kingdom. So I'm just going to go pick the order of my groups, and then we'll move to the round of 16 and so on. Before I get into it, if you can hit us up in the subscribe part of the channel. Leave a like for the video as well, and let me know why I'm 100% wrong in the comments. We always appreciate genuine feedback. But all right, let's get into it. Group A, featuring the host nation Qatar, South American teams Ecuador, Senegal, and the Netherlands. This is a very interesting group. I think it's Netherlands. The Dutch are probably the strongest team in it. But for me, I would have probably tipped Senegal to finish top only a couple of days ago. Sadio Mane, though, is, however, ruled out of the entire competition. So for me, I probably can't go past the Dutch finishing top in this group. It's a tough one. I think it's going to be really competitive between these three countries. Qatar, I might talk a bit about the end of this video, my thoughts on the situation of this World Cup being in Qatar. But, you know, they're not a bad team. They're the reigning Asian Cup champions. It's been hard to tell how well they've gone the past couple of years, however, because they did participate in the World Cup qualifying, but it was for the Asian Cup section. So hard to tell how well they'll go. For me, if I'm going to be genuine about it, I reckon Senegal. Don't count out Qatar for, I think the home ground advantage is going to play a part. The fact that they've got actually not a bad team and maybe some dodgy stuff going on as well. But we won't go into that. So Senegal for me in second, and she's probably Qatar in third. But a very competitive group. We'll move over to Group B. For me, I think England should be topping this group. I know they're heading into the tournament. Not a lot of great form, but I reckon they'll finish top there. In second, it's a tough one. I think Iran, going into this World Cup, is the best Asian team. Personally, that's me. I know there's a lot of controversy going on politically in Iran, and whether that filters down to the national team, we'll wait and see. USA, I think it's probably one of the best USA teams we've ever seen. And the Welsh, their first World Cup in, over 50 years. So they'll be wanting to do well. For me, though, I'm maybe it's my bit of because Australians in the Asian Confederation, whether it's a bit more biased, but I'm going to go for Iran there. That'll be interesting one. Probably the USA, but once again, another tough one. So we've started off with really some tough groups to start with. Group C for me, Argentina, they're one of the favorites. There's no question about it. Mexico, yeah, they've been in the round of 16 for so many tournaments in a row. Can they break that duck? Who can? We'll wait and see. Poland third, and Saudi Arabia probably go in as probably one of the most disappointing teams in the competition. I've also realized I'm not in full screen mode, so let's go to that. So you don't have to see all my favorite tabs, but you've already seen them now, so it doesn't matter. For me, Group D, this is where our boys Australia come into play. For me, it's got to be Denmark topping the group. They come into this tournament in a great run of form. The Euros, they made the semi-finals there. They're looking the good stuff. I expect. Well, I haven't got to my round of 16 part, so I don't know where they're going to play in the round of 16, but I reckon they could have a good run. Yeah, and I said these are my biased videos, and I've got to back my boys. I've got to back Australia. Now, why I think they're going to finish above France. France have got a lot of injuries right now. Karim Benzema is the big one. Only the other day, today, as I'm recording this, he's been ruled out of the World Cup, which is a real disappointment for France. I think the two players that finished first and second in the Ballon d'Or are out, Karim Benzema and Sadio Mane. So some big losses for this World Cup, and I think I've got to be a little bit biased, don't I? I've got to back my team. And the World Cup curse for the reigning champions, is it a thing? Well, hopefully, for our sake, it will be. Group A, Spain for me, finishing top in this group. I think they'll be one of the favourites to win the tournament. I'm a big fan of Spain every time the World Cup comes around. I think my first memories of the World Cup was in 2010 when Spain won it, obviously with Iniesta that goal in extra time. So I'm always a big fan of Spain and how they go in the World Cup. Listen, Germany, I don't know what to make of Germany. I've not been. This is just a vibe I'm getting from Germany. It's the vibe. I think they've got to go through. Wouldn't be surprised if I see Japan go through instead of Germany. I really like Japan. I think a lot of the European nations have really underestimated the Asian teams going into this World Cup, hoping for something special from them. Belgium, fantastic squad on paper. Really, only Kevin De Bruyne is really the only big one in form. I think the 2018 World Cup was their big chance to win silverware. Saying all that, I think they'll finish top of the group. My dark horse of this tournament, however, I reckon they're the ones that are going to go through in second place, and it's Canada. They've qualified for the first World Cup in, I think, 3 decades. So congrats to them, but they finished above the USA and Mexico in qualifying. They've got some really exciting young players in that team, and I'm backing them to do quite well. Morocco, Croatia, of course, the finalists from the last World Cup, probably third. Can't go past Brazil. I think they are the favourite going into it. Switzerland, something about Switzerland I don't really like, but I'm going to pick them to come second in the group, and then Serbia, and then Cameroon. I think Switzerland, not Switzerland. Yeah, maybe Switzerland. They've just got a great squad. Serbia, Mitrovic up front, he's cracking form in Premier League right now, and it's a great team. Serbia too. Another tough one to pick, but it'll be Serbia for me. Group H. I think this should be a good one. I think oh man, I did this draw the other couple of days ago, and I think I picked Portugal to come first, and now I think this is another tough one as well. I think Uruguay, Portugal, Korea, Ghana, they're all excellent teams that could get through this. I think Uruguay and Portugal are probably the front runners. Although my Asian bias again, I think Korea. I think they could have a good run. They beat Germany last year. Can that? Not last year, 4 years ago. It's a long time ago. Whether they can continue that form. Oh, it's a toughie. Yeah, I think I'll go Portugal to finish it. Have I got any major upsets? Well, I think Australia going out is a major upset. Maybe Canada going up in Group F is probably a major upset. Yeah, probably going to go Uruguay and Korea and Ghana. Would love to have picked Korea. It might be a bit hard to pick. Well, my round of 16 ties. What have we got here? Jeez, we've got some good fixtures here. All right. Oh, man, I would really love a good run from Iran, wouldn't I? Oh, yeah, I think I'll go the Dutch. I think I'll go the Dutch on that one. I think Iran would have been. I could still pick Iran. No, I think the Dutch. What do I think Iran? I don't know. I picked them. Let's go. Boy, if Australia finish second in their group, they're playing Argentina. I think there'll be no doubt about that. If they finish top in their group, who do they have the chances of playing? It's whoever finishes second in Group C. Jeez, that's tough. That's tough for us. Argentina, I think we'll get past this one. I think England will beat Senegal. Yeah, I think Denmark will beat Mexico. I think Spain will beat Canada. Brazil will beat Uruguay. Germany will beat Belgium. Portugal will probably play Switzerland. Jeez, it's going to be tough. Argentina will beat the Dutch. Oh, man. None of them are easy picks as well. I think man, this is a rotten way to go. I love Spain. Brazil, though, their depth isn't incredible. They could probably field 2 teams from their squads, like 2 really good teams. But Spain, going Spain. Another tough one as well, man. It's so tough. This is why we do predictions. I think I'm gonna go Germany in that one. But then I didn't think Germany was going to go particularly well. Portugal might. Oh man, it's tough. And Denmark or England? Probably England to make back-to-back semi-finals. Oh man, it is absolutely rotten. Oh, Argentina for me, and then we'll go with. Oh man, Ronaldo and Messi. Gosh, no way. I think England has what it takes to make a semi-final, and then I think Argentina. Argentina will win it. Do I? Yep. Well, I've done the bracket. That's how I think it's going to finish. So I think Argentina will win the final. They defeat England. Boy, bringing up the rivalry from the 1980s, and Portugal and Spain will play a third match playoff. So probably back Spain for that one. But it's really tough. I think it's an incredibly tough tournament to pick. Argentina, England, Spain, Portugal. All those four teams are more than capable of winning the World Cup. So is Germany, Brazil, Denmark. A really, really good team. Really good team. Yeah, that's my draw. That's my predictions. Now in terms of Australia games coming up, just for the channel's sake, I don't think Samuel's available to cover any games from the first week, but I guess we'll wait and see. I'm thinking about whether I do a live watch along for maybe the Denmark game. I think it's the 2 a.m. game. Never really done one before, so don't know if I'll do that, but we'll see. We'll see. But it's an exciting. I think it's an exciting prospect for Australia at this World Cup. There's a real genuine buzz about it. At least, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just being a bit optimistic. I think for Australia, we have to beat Tunisia. There's no questions about it. I think that's the team we have the best chance of winning a game against. And I think if we can snag a draw against Denmark or France, I think that'll send us a long way to going through to the round of 16. I think France is probably the one that we're more likely to get a result out of, just considering their form compared to Denmark's. But got to be optimistic, haven't we? Got to be optimistic. Just on the World Cup itself, I remember as a kid, I think I was 15 back in 2010 when the draw was announced. I stayed up hoping and praying that Australia would be awarded the 2022 rights. And I was very disappointed. And still to this day, when I still see Sepp Blatter, the clips of him pulling out the winner is Qatar, it upsets me and it frustrates me so much that our game, the world's game, the most popular sport on the planet was sold. I mean, it's not the first time money has come, played a part in football. It was just really disappointing because it made no sense to go to Qatar. And I think there's not a lot to be excited about Qatar as a host. There's been a lot said about them as being host, and can't really add much more to the conversation than reiterating it that I think the Guardian reported over 6,000 migrant workers died building these stadiums. I think we know about their poor human rights abuse. I think we know about the way they treat LGBT people. We know the way women are treated in their society. I think there's enough out there. You can go. There's a Netflix documentary. There's some great stuff happening on TIFO. Some great stuff happening on HITC7s. There's heaps of information out there about why this World Cup, just the corruption behind this World Cup and why it's so disappointing to see. But for now, I'm going to focus on the football, but I think it's important that we don't forget about Qatar and their government and their culture over there. I think it's very important to bring that to an attention. And that's not to say my country of Australia hasn't fallen short in the past. We're a country where our government mandated taking away children from Indigenous families because our government thought they weren't able to look after our kids and they thought they could do a better job. And that's just one way that we have failed so badly as a nation. But that doesn't mean Qatar is excused because my nation is, you could say, just as bad or done some pretty horrific stuff in the past. All countries have done that. And I think it's fair to criticize that as well, but don't use that as an excuse to deflect away from Qatar. Anyway, I've gone on a political tangent. We don't really do that on this channel at all, really. But anyway, let us know what you think in the comments, who you think is going to win. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Really love you to subscribe because it really helps out the channel. And of course, stay tuned to our channel. We'll hopefully have some more stuff coming out over the next couple of weeks for the World Cup. And in a few weeks' time, we'll be celebrating Jason Cummings lifting the World Cup trophy as we beat England 5-0 in the final. So stay tuned and enjoy the World Cup.